Hi, my name is Nalisha Silva from Bishop Gorman High School. Support for today's varsity quiz is provided by Silver State Schools Credit Union.
Coming up next on Varsity Quiz, it's Faith Lutheran taking on Bishop Gorman. This is Varsity Quiz. Hello and welcome. This is the 49th season of Varsity Quiz, where the best and the brightest high school students are matching wits in this unique academic competition. Tonight, the road to the Blue League Division Championship continues as Faith Lutheran is facing Bishop Gorman. Let's meet our players. There's Derek from Faith Lutheran. Donovan's on Faith Lutheran. There's also Joe. Hi, Joe. And Eugene. Give it up for Faith Lutheran. Also on the Faith team, let's say hello to Isabella. Hi, Isabella. There's Brianna. Hi, Brianna. And don't forget Danae. Hi, Danae. And also Aaron. Hey, Aaron, what's up? Also on the Faith team, say hello to David. Hi, David. There's Ryan. Howdy, Ryan. Also for Faith, say hello to Donald. And last but not least, Wei Jun. Ladies and gentlemen, Faith Lutheran. Give it up. Say hello to the coach for Faith Lutheran, Jason Crowder. Hey, Jason. And let's meet our players for Bishop Gorman. There's Aaron. Hi, Aaron. And Paul. And Zach. And Nalisha. It's Bishop Gorman. Also on Bishop Gorman's team, say hello to Daniel. Hey, Daniel. And don't forget Christian. Hey, Christian. Also playing for Gorman, it's Rachel. Hi, Rachel. And Ava. Hi, Ava. Say hello to Ema. Hi, Ema. There's Maya. Hi, Maya. And Rachel. Ladies and gentlemen, Bishop Gorman High School. And say hello to the coach for Bishop Gorman, Jay Bonard. Students, are you ready? Let's play Varsity Quiz. The driest desert in the world is a region encompassing about 4,000 square kilometers called the Dry Valleys, where apparently no precipitation whatever has fallen in at least 2 million years. Where are these valleys located? Faith Lutheran, Joe.
The Gobi Desert?
Incorrect. Bishop Gorman, Alicia.
The Sahara Desert?
No, it is Antarctica. Next question. Name the person that is the subject of a biography about a biologist whose theories of evolution and natural selection went from heresy. Bishop Gorman, Zach.
Darwin.
That is correct. Next question. If you connect the midpoints of the legs of an isosceles triangle, what is the most specific name for the resulting quadrilateral? Did he get in time? That's Faith Lutheran, Paul.
Isosceles trapezoid?
That is correct. You don't have to lean into the mic, Paul. We got you. That is correct. Next question. During the Night of the Long Knives in 1934, most of the killing was carried out by the German SS and what secret police organization? Faith Lutheran, Donovan.
The Gestapo.
That is correct. Next question. What 20th century U.S. president told the public he'd never been a quitter shortly before he announced to many congressional members that the country would, quote, could not operate with a half-time president? We're looking for Richard Nixon. A neophyte scuba diver just resurfaced from a 150-foot dive in the Caribbean Sea. He is coughing, has severe chest pain, is dizzy, has a paralyzed arm, and is going in and out of consciousness. These are probably symptoms of what disorder? Faith Lutheran, Eugene?
Decompression sickness?
Yes. In 1843, John Fremont caught sight of what landlocked body of water, quote, stretching in still, and that is Faith Lutheran, Eugene?
Salt Lake?
Judges? All right, we will accept that. That is a correct answer. Next question. Alkanes, alkenes, and alkynes belong to what functional group of organic compounds? Bishop Gorman, Paul?
Alkaloids?
Incorrect. Faith Lutheran, Donovan?
Hydrocarbons.
They are hydrocarbons, that is correct. Next question, in the late 16th century, what explorer, colonist, and favorite of Queen Elizabeth I is credited by some historians with planting the first potato in Ireland? Did he get in time? That's Bishop Gorman. Paul?
Sir Francis Drake.
Incorrect. We were looking for Walter Raleigh. Next question is a calculation question. A scooter is accelerating at a rate of 2 meters per second. If the mass of the scooter was halved and the net force was tripled, what is the new acceleration of the scooter? I'll repeat. Scooter's accelerating at a rate of 2 meters per second. If the mass of the scooter was halved and the net force was tripled, what's the new acceleration of the scooter? Faith Lutheran, Joe.
6 meters per second squared.
That's incorrect. Bishop Gorman, Aaron.
3 meters per second squared.
No, we were looking for 12 meters per second. Next question for both teams. What war, named for an archipelago, ended in 1982 when Argentine forces surrendered? Bishop Gorman, Aaron.
Falkland War.
Judges? Okay, that is correct. What is the title of the person who investigates insurance claims to determine the extent of an insurance company's, Faith Lutheran, Donovan?
An auditor.
That's incorrect. Insurance company's liability. It's an adjuster or a claims adjuster. Next question. Name the Secretary of State who, in a 1947 speech, called on the U.S. to assist in the economic recovery of Bishop Gorman. Aaron.
Marshall.
Yes. After Julius Caesar's death, the Roman Empire was divided up and ruled for a time by 3 men: Octavian, Marcus Lepidus, and Bishop Gorman. Paul.
Mark Antony.
Yes. 130 years before the songs Consider Yourself and Food, Glorious Food, 130 years before they became popular in a musical film, Charles Dickens wrote what novel about an orphan boy and a gang of, Faith Lutheran, Derek?
Oliver Twist.
Yes. What kind of tide associated with harmful algal blooms discolor the water and produce toxic effects on marine life? Faith Lutheran, Donovan.
A red tide.
Yes. In what Italian city would you see St. Mark's Basilica, the bridge of Bishop Gorman? Aaron.
Venice.
Yes. Next is a calculation question. 3 times a number increased by 10 equals 20 less than 6 times the number. What's the number? Repeating. 3 times a number increased by 10, and that is Faith Lutheran, Eugene.
10.
Yes. Next question. Name the castle that was besieged in 1194 by Richard the Lionhearted against his brother, Prince John, and is linked to the adventures of Robin Hood. The castle has the name of the sheriff who was always trying to hunt down Robin Hood. And that's Bishop Gorman. Zach?
Nottingham.
Judges, I think we're good. Very good. Next question. The name of what defendant in a 1966 Supreme Court case is associated with the principle that all criminal suspects must be advised of their rights? Bishop Gorman. Aaron.
Miranda.
Yes. In 2016, Dilma Rousseff was impeached for breaking budget laws and removed from the presidency of what South American country? Bishop Gorman. Aaron.
Brazil.
Yes. An abscess is a pocket of pus consisting of a mixture of bacteria, dead tissue, and what kind of blood cells? Bishop Gorman. Paul.
White blood cells.
Yes. Name any of the 4 U.S. states that was the original home to the Choctaw people. Faith Lutheran, Joe.
Virginia.
No. Bishop Gorman. Aaron.
Georgia.
No, we were looking for either Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, or Louisiana. Next, name the series of newspaper articles and essays that were written in 1787 and 1788 under the pseudonym Publius that promoted Bishop Gorman. Zach.
Federalist Papers.
Yes. Political or legislative initiatives fostered by ordinary people are said to be what kind of movements? Bishop Gorman. Alicia.
Grassroots.
Yes. So that's the end of the first round. Before we move on, we want to get to know our players a little bit better. Now we're going to start with Faith Lutheran. We have senior Derek. Hi, Derek.
Hi.
You having fun so far?
I am.
Good. It says here that you're absolutely unbeatable at something. What are you unbeatable at?
Wii tennis. Yeah, it's my game. I've been practicing since I was about 8, 9. Been playing on a pretty much a weekly basis.
So I should never challenge you to a game of Wii
I
tennis.
wouldn't, no.
Okay. Well, Derek, good luck with that, and good luck with the rest of Varsity Quiz.
Thank you very much.
Sir. Here is senior Donovan. Hey, Donovan.
Hello.
It says here that we should follow you on SoundCloud. If we did that, what would we hear?
Mostly just kind of like chill music, like what I listen to when I do homework. But I am looking forward to posting some original content on there very soon.
Excellent. And we'll get that website up there at some point. But SoundCloud, look for Donovan.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you, Donovan. Good luck. Here's senior Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey.
This says here that you have a couple of hobbies. Can you tell me what one of them is?
Well, one of them is obviously losing to Derek at Wii tennis. Not as good as him, but I fence.
Oh, fencing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing that for 6 years now.
Well, good luck with that.
All right. Thank
And
you.
good luck with Varsity Quiz. Thanks, Joe. And here's Eugene. He's an 11th grader. Hi, Eugene.
Hi.
It says here you like to do a specific type of writing. What type of writing is that?
Screenwriting?
So you're writing movies
Yes.
or plays or whatever?
Movies?
Awesome. Have any of them been produced?
No, definitely not.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye out for them. Good luck with the screenwriting and good luck with Varsity Quiz. Ladies and gentlemen, our starters for Faith Lutheran. All right, now let's get to know our players for Bishop Gorman. We start with 11th grader Aaron. Hi, Aaron.
Hello.
You have a couple of trophies. What did you get your trophies for?
Chess.
Whoa. How long you been playing chess?
For about 10 years, I
You
believe.
still playing?
Yes, I do.
Well, good luck with that, and good luck here on Varsity Quiz. Thanks, Aaron. Here's a senior, Paul. Hey, Paul.
Hello.
You have how many younger siblings?
5.
Whoa. So are you the oldest?
I'm the oldest.
And can you run down the ages of your siblings?
16 today, 13, 12, 11, and 7.
Okay, subject to change. No big deal.
Yeah.
Paul, thank you, and good luck with your siblings, and good luck on Varsity Quiz. Here's Zach. Hey, Zach.
Hi.
You are a part of a new, relatively new organization at Gorman, I believe. You guys have not had a marching band forever, have you?
We've had one for a while, but now we're just getting serious. We're taking the Valley by storm.
Okay, and what's your position there?
A drum major.
So you're like the leader of the band. Well, good luck with that, Zach.
Thank you.
And good luck here on Varsity Quiz. And here's Nalisha. Hi, Nalisha.
Hi.
You've also been playing a musical instrument. What's that?
I've been playing violin for 12 years now.
Wonderful. And do you prefer the classical music?
I do prefer the classical music.
Are
a
you
little
in
bit.
the school orchestra or any other groups?
I'm the current concert mistress of our school's orchestra.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
Ladies
you.
and gentlemen, the players from Bishop Gorman High School. And here on Varsity Quiz, the bonus round is next. The score as we go into round 2, Faith Lutheran with 35, Bishop Gorman with 60. We got new players for Faith Lutheran. There's one new player. We want to say hello to Ryan. Hey, Ryan. Good luck to you and the rest of the Faith Lutheran team. Bishop Gorman has 2 new players. There's Ema and Maya. Hi, you guys, and good luck to you. Now, this round is timed at 6 minutes, and time starts when I begin this first question. In a painting by Peter Paul Rubens, what biblical character is depicted sleeping in Delilah's lap with a group of Philistines? And that is Faith Lutheran. Eugene?
Samson.
Yes, that's correct. Bonus questions now for Faith Lutheran only. Answer the following concerning paintings. First, complete the title of this painting, Battle of the Blank, by Arnold Backlund, about mythical creatures with the heads and trunks of men and the body and legs of horses. Second, named for a game. What painting by Winslow Homer depicts 8 boys in front of a schoolhouse who form a chain with the purpose of sending the boy on the end on a short flight thanks to centrifugal force?
I like Winslow Homer.
First one is, I think the first one is
Second one.
it's on Bunker Hill.
Captain?
First one, Bunker Hill. Second, no answer.
We were looking for centaurs and snap the whip, so no bonus points. We move on to this question for both teams. What survivor of Nazi concentration camps wrote a trilogy with these titles? Night, and that is Bishop Gorman. Ema?
Elie Wiesel.
That is correct. Bonus questions now for Bishop Gorman only. Answer the following concerning literature. First, What novel by Kurt Vonnegut was named after a string game? And second, Agatha Christie's story, And Then There Were None, features how many main characters? Captain.
First answer, Cat's Cradle. Second answer, no answer.
Okay, the first answer is correct, Cat's Cradle. The other answer was 10. So you get some bonus points. Now this question for both teams. After serving nearly 18 months of his 15-year sentence for trying to swipe a poster from his hotel, that is Faith Lutheran. Donovan.
O.J. Simpson.
Pardon me?
O.J. Simpson.
That is incorrect. I'll complete the question. The comatose American college student Otto Warmbier was returned from what country to the U.S.? That is Bishop Gorman. Paul.
North Korea.
Yes, sir. And now bonus questions for Bishop Gorman only. Answer the following associated with current events. First, in 2017, Hassan Rouhani was reelected as president of what country? Second, name the outdoor clothing company that recently sued the President of the United States for decreasing the size of 2 Utah national monuments, accusing him of stealing the land.
First answer, Iran. Second answer, Patagonia.
Both are correct. You've got bonus points. Now this question for both teams. What is the psychological term for the capacity of people to, quote, see with the eyes of another, listen with the ears of another, and Bishop Gorman, Zach?
Empathy.
Yes, sir. And now bonus questions for Bishop Gorman only. Answer the following associated with psychology. First, in Freud's theories, the mediator between the demands of the id and the superego is called what? Second, give the term that refers to memory that is stored effectively in the brain and may be accessed over an extended period of time.
First answer, ego. Second answer, long-term memory.
Both are correct. You've got bonus points. This question for both teams. What famous music venue in New York City is named for the Greek god of music, art, poetry, and oracles? Faith Lutheran. Ryan.
Bacchus.
No? Bishop Gorman. Paul.
Apollo Theater.
Yes. Bonus questions for Bishop Gorman. Answer the following concerning theater. First, name the theater located in Rockefeller Center in New York City, finished in 1942, nicknamed the showplace of the nation. Second, give the term for a form of theatrical presentation in which the audience is seated in a circle around the stage or on at least 3 of its sides. Captain?
First answer, Radio City Musical. Second answer, second question, no answer.
Okay, Radio City is correct. The other one was Theater in the Round. So some bonus points. And this question for both teams, it is a calculation question. The area of a sector of a circle with a radius of 6 inches is 15 square inches. In terms of pi, what is the measure of the central angle of this sector? Repeating, the area of a sector of a circle with a radius of 6 inches is 15 square inches. In terms of pi, what is the measure of the central angle of this sector? Faith Lutheran. Eugene.
150 over pi square inches.
The judges say that is incorrect. Time, we were looking for 150 over pi. You eventually had the correct answer, but your first response was incorrect, so we move on. No bonus points, and we move on to the next question. You want to write an autobiography, but lack the time or ability to do the work. You also want credit for its authorship, so you might hire what kind of Faith Lutheran? Ryan?
Ghostwriter.
Yes. Bonus questions now for Faith Lutheran only. Answer the following associated with ghosts. The Boot Jolokia is also known as the ghost pepper, but originated in what country? Second, the ghost in the machine is British philosopher Gilbert Ryle's description of which French philosopher's mind-body dualism concept?
Who's the French philosopher? What's the first one? Mexico.
Captain.
First one, Mexico. Second one, no answer.
That's incorrect. We're looking for India, and the other answer is René Descartes. Are we out of time? That is the end of our bonus round. So before we move on, we want to take just a moment to say thank you to the Kiwanis Club of Las Vegas. They provide judges on the in-school competition that led up to today's match. They're also here today. We also want to give a shout out to the Clark County School District, the staff and leadership of the Student Activities Department, because they coordinate every step of the program from early in the school year all the way to the championships. Our speed round is next. Going into round 3, the score, Faith Lutheran with 45, Bishop Gorman with 110. Before we start our speed round, we want to introduce a returning player, first of all, for Faith Lutheran. Welcome back, Derek. Good luck to you and the rest of your team. For Bishop Gorman, we have one new player, Christian. Hi, Christian. And a returner, Aaron. Welcome back. Now, these questions are also worth 5 points. It is timed. We have 30 questions, and if we get to all 30, the round will be over. Let's find out who wins in our speed round. What moon of Uranus was named after the heroine in The Merchant of Venice? Bishop Gorman, Zach.
Portia.
Yes, next question. Name that type of poisonous secretion that is usually injected through a sting, bit, and that is Bishop Gorman. Paul.
Venom.
Yes. In 1940, after 18 days of ceaseless bombing, King Leopold III unconditionally surrendered what country? Bishop Gorman, Aaron?
Belgium?
Yes. Lake Martin, Tangiafoa Parish, and Honey Island are swamps in what U.S. state? Bishop Gorman, Zach?
Louisiana.
Yes. What is the dominant factor that controls ablation of glaciers? Did he get in time? That's Eugene from Faith Lutheran.
Gravity.
Incorrect. And so the answer we were looking for was air temperature. We move on. What kind of arteries supply blood to the myocardium? Those are coronary arteries. Next question is a calculation question, but we don't repeat here in the speed round. X to the negative third power equals 1 divided by what? Bishop Gorman, Paul.
X to the third.
Yes. Next question. What kind of naval warfare is indicated by the letter S as in Sam in the abbreviation ASW? Bishop Gorman, Paul.
Submarine.
Yes. Name the meteor shower that appears to radiate out from near the constellation Orion. We're looking for the Orionids. Name the suspension bridge that connects the two peninsulas of Michigan. The Mackinac Bridge. Next question. One formula for angular momentum is MVR. These letters stand for mass, velocity, and what? Faith Lutheran, Joe?
Radius.
Yes. About 90% of the water supply for Las Vegas, Nevada comes from what lake? Faith Lutheran, Eugene?
Lake Mead.
Yes. In 1911, Vincenzo Perugia stole what famous painting from the Louvre? Faith Lutheran, Joe?
The Mona Lisa.
Yes. What element has the fewest number of isotopes? Bishop Gorman, Paul?
Hydrogen.
Yes. Who was the man who killed John Kennedy? Faith Lutheran, Eugene?
Ruby.
Yes. Much of the legal system of the United Arab Emirates is based on what Islamic code? And that is Bishop Gorman, Paul?
Sharia law.
Yes. If you use influential friends to obtain an advantage, you can be said to be pulling these. Bishop Gorman, Paul?
Strings.
Yes. What kind of potential energy is stored by stretching solid objects? Faith Lutheran, Donovan?
Elastic potential
Yes.
energy.
What 4 words in a Martin Luther King speech illustrate parallel structure? Faith Lutheran, Joe?
I have a dream.
Yes. In 48 BC, a civil war in ancient Egypt erupted between the forces of Ptolemy XIII and his sister. Name that queen. Faith Lutheran, Donovan?
Cleopatra.
Yes. Name the automobile manufacturer whose name is the Japanese equivalent of the star cluster Pleiades. Faith Lutheran, Donovan?
Subaru.
Yes. Speak up a little bit next time. Sir Francis Drake claimed the region of Nova Albion, which was all of North America north of Mexico, for what British monarch? Faith Lutheran, Eugene?
Elizabeth. Third.
That's incorrect. We're looking for Elizabeth I. Next question. What is the most populous island of the Caribbean? Faith Lutheran, Eugene?
Cuba?
No. Bishop Gorman, Aaron?
Puerto Rico?
No, it's Hispaniola. Next question. 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd power is an approximation, Faith Lutheran, Joe?
Avogadro's number?
Yes. In law enforcement, what does the acronym CSI mean? Bishop Gorman, Zach?
Crime scene investigation.
That's right. Next is a calculation question, again not repeated. Find f of negative 2 if f of x equals negative 2 x squared plus 6x minus 3. Faith Lutheran, Eugene?
1.
Incorrect. We're looking for negative 23. Next, a type of concussion called dementia pugilistica is most common among competitors in Bishop Gorman, Zach?
Boxing.
Yes. The principle of parsimony is associated with Occam's what? Faith Lutheran, Joe?
Razor.
Yes. According to the Old Farmer's Almanac, if a cricket chirps 30 times in 14 seconds, what's the approximate air temperature in degrees Fahrenheit? Faith Lutheran, Joe?
44.
No? 70. A German submarine sank which British, and that is Faith Lutheran, Eugene?
Louisiana?
Judges? That is correct. And we're out of questions, so that ends the third round. Let's find out who won. The final score, Faith Lutheran with 100 points to Bishop Gorman's 165. How about a hand for both teams? Great job. We had an excellent match. We do want to say congratulations to Bishop Gorman on their win, and we invite you to join us next Monday at 7:30 when Bishop Gorman will take on the winner of last week's match, Moapa Valley, for the championship of the Varsity Quiz Blue League. We hope you'll tune in for another exciting night of Varsity Quiz on Vegas PBS. Good night.